Hey guys, Dave here, Journey to the Outdoors. Got a great video for you. This is a video to really go over the rut for this year, the predicted rut for this year, the time in which we should expect it to really kick into gear. Now, I've been filming a series. I haven't uploaded it yet. That should be up here any time. I'm still working on that. But I've started filming a series on specifically just on deer hunting. A lot of people have been asking me questions, mostly younger adults that is getting into the hunting, deer hunting in general. And I wanted to really touch on those questions so they can understand exactly what they're getting into and be able to be successful at deer hunting. But to move on with this video, like I said before, this is to go into the prediction of the rut. This is my prediction, and I will show you the methods that I use to come up to that specific time, to nail it down to about the specific date. So recently I started I'd say following the moon phases within the last 4 years. Instead of going out at a specific time, which I knew it was roughly around November or somewhere around there, the first week or so, and usually is about that time, just hunting a lot more, hunting frequently. You can kind of see the actions of the deer. You can see how they're moving around, how the movement goes up and goes down around the hunting season. So you can kind of predict from that time where to expect the deer to move and what times to expect them to move. But I wanted to start nailing it down so I can be more successful in going in less amounts of time. So the less time that you spend in an area, meaning the less time that you're out there physically, you can increase your chances of that deer not spotting you or not figuring you out or not timing you, and you put less pressure. So that's the whole purpose of giving a day specifically for the rut. For each, and it changes from year to year. It's not the same every year. So we're going to go ahead and get into that. So basically, the moon has a schedule. Okay, it goes around the earth, obviously, as we know this, and it's in a certain position at a certain time, and that actually affect deer's cycling, or albeit does cycling. Just like women get together, if you have a set of them that work together on a long basis, often their menstrual cycles will get in sync together. So who knows how that happens? It just does. Emotional levels, all of this stuff plays into factor. But those have it that it's kind of in sync with the moon. So there is a thing called a equinox, okay, and that is a point where the sun and the moon, there is a time that it is equal, 12 hours of night and 12 hours of day. There's a point where it's equal all around the world. It's 12 hours of night and 12 hours of day. And this year, currently the equinox time in September, the autumn equinox, was September the 23rd, 2014. September the 23rd, 2014, right around 2 o'clock, 2:20 something. And that was the time that it was exactly 12 hours of night, exactly 12 hours a day. So then, now you have a basis of that. Now there's 4 equinoxes. There is the fall, the winter, if you will, the spring, and then the autumn, okay, or whatever like that. So it falls summer, then the fall. So it falls just like that. Now the one that we're looking at specifically is the autumn equinox, and that's the one that happened to have fell in September. Now every month there is a full moon. Everybody knows that, okay? We can all agree on that. Every month there is a full moon. It comes around every 30 days, 26 to 30 days. It's right around there. Now, there is a September full moon, and then there's an October full moon, and then there's a November full moon. Now, the one that we're going to be looking at mostly is not very long after the October full moon. The November one will change things a little bit, but the October one is one of the main ones that we're looking for. So the September full moon usually falls right around the equinox, and that was right around the end of the month of September. Now, we happen to have had a full moon just on October the 6th, last night. If you go out and look tonight, you will see that it's pretty much a full moon. So we know that there was a full moon on October the 6th, okay? Now, we want to remember that, okay? Now, 30 days from there, about 30 days from there, is going to be November the 6th. And this is going to be about the time, it's going to be between, the rut is going to be between. Now, usually you put it about 3 days before and 3 days after. The deer actually do increase movement at night when the full moon is. When the full moon is up, don't waste your time getting up early in the morning. You will not really see a lot of movement unless you're right by a bedding area. You may see some movement because the deer are bedded down by the time the sun comes up. They mostly do most of their movement during the night, which most states do not allow. I don't think there's any state that allows it during a regular deer hunting season, that you can hunt deer during the night. So we're going to make this right around the 3rd, November the 3rd to November the 9th. Now, as I said before, generally the rut revolves around the first week. Sometimes it can go into the early part of the second week, depending on where the equinox is, but it usually is around the first week of November. Most experienced hunters start hunting about the 4th, and they'll hunt clear through till the 17th, and take that time off of work to hunt really hard. This is, when I mean hunt hard, I mean you're hunting from night till day, from sunrise to sunset. Let me be clear about that. Sunrise to sunset, or what your state allows. You're gonna hunt very hard from day to day to day to day to day. You are in that tree stand, and you would think, Dave, that's too much pressure in my area. You are going to see mass amounts of movement during that time. The buck's senses for what they're looking for is their sense of safety is low. It's the lowest point that it will ever be in the entire year. I mean, they're mostly driven for hunting does and mating them. So if you get in your stand, of course you still have to mind your scent. To get in your stand, you will see large amounts of deer. You will see mass amounts of movement. At minimum, you will see does. If you're seeing does, stay in your area. You are in a great area. If you're seeing mostly bucks, then that's good. But at the same time, then they're not finding the does. They're looking for the does. So you want to be where the does are. So for the rut, I am going to say that it is going to be between the 3rd and the 9th. Some people will say an exact date, but the thing is you can't really say exactly one day. In my experience, it has been between 3 days before the full moon and 3 days after the full moon, and that's when most of the activity is. And like I said, that's only because during the full moon they're up during the night, and there's lower movement during the day. But you should see rain leading up to this point. Okay, massive amounts of rain, 3 to 4 times a week. You'll have a lot of rain. At least in the Midwest, this is what usually happens. And right now, we've started having rain about 3 to 4 times a week. Now that tells me that we're in that pre-rut stage. This is from experience. Okay, I follow a lot of the methods of the Native Americans, and they watch the weather. And they've been successful enough to still be living to this day. So, but massive amounts of rain is something that really kind of leads up to it, and it has been happening now. So this is when you want to get out in the stand. Last thing I want to post is a couple of days ago, I'm driving along the road here, and I happen to have seen a buck that was hit on the side of the road. Okay, now I thought to myself, whoa, this is a nice deer. So a lot of guys will just keep on driving and say, oh yeah, there's nice deer in this area. But what you don't understand is you can learn so much from a roadkill that it's just phenomenal. Okay, so here I have this buck that was hit. I'll put a picture up. This buck that was hit, and it was a nice 9-pointer, every bit of 130, a solid 110, and the size of them was substantial. I mean, it's just huge. I mean, the picture does not do justice to the deer at all. But the size of his body was just massive. And one of the things that you can learn from these roadkill deer, albeit doe or a buck, you can look at the doe. I mean, at the does, and you can look at the buck's neck, and if you see that his neck is starting to swell, or it was swollen, if you can come across it fairly soon, if you see that the neck is swollen, that means that they are fully in rut. He's chasing does, and he's really in the rut. If you see a doe and the genitalia is swollen, it's oversized, it's wore out, and inflamed and all of that. If you can see it soon enough, then that means that the does are really in estrus. So that's something that you really want to pay attention to. That's the most exact way to know, because once the does are in estrus, the bucks are chasing. There is no way to misunderstand that. So just to get back to my point, I wanted to make that if you see a roadkill and it's pretty soon, just watch and count the ones that you're seeing in your area. If you're seeing high amounts of them during the daytime, you're counting several of them in a mile, you want to mark that area. You want to find out what's in that area. You can tell the bush, you can tell everything, you can tell the landscaping, the topography will tell you exactly what the deer are looking for in that area, and you can use that to hunt your own area. You can't overlook anything when you're going into deer hunting. And like I said, so that's enough information for this video. But my sign and my time I'm saying for the rut is going to be between the 3rd and the 9th, particularly somewhere around the 6th. You should see it should be a full moon. You should be hunting 3 days before that full moon hit. Listen to the weatherman, he'll tell you exactly when. 3 days before that moon hit, you want to be out there and hunting hard, because it's just like fish. Okay, fish revolve around the barometric pressure and the light and the feeding and all that stuff. But the barometric pressure, as the barometric pressure rises, you want to fish on the rise. You want to fish on the rise, and then once it tops out and it starts to fall, you want to fish when the pressure is falling. Sorry. You want to fish really hard when the pressure is falling. That means the storm is coming in. So then if you can get it on the rise, and they don't hit as much. Get out there and hunt between November the 3rd and the 9th. Journey to the outdoors.